May 2024 for each of the 12 signs. I'm Lada from AstroLada.com, and this May is such a joy compared to April. All planets are moving direct, so things will go more according to plans. There is a powerful first activation of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, so finally what I promised you of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction will start unfolding from you with the new moon in Taurus, this abundance, opportunities that will support you for the next 14 years. You see the first signs of it materially from May. Then we have the Jupiter-Venus conjunction and the Jupiter-Sun conjunction. This month is just beauty. It smells of champagne and caviar and sweet-sounding melody and nymphs dancing naked. this has this Taurian lushness and beauty of Jupiter-Venus sign and abundance and camaraderie. So it's and then we have Jupiter entering a new sign. I'm gonna cover each of the 12 signs, how Jupiter will affect you for the next 12 months. And of course we have Mars being reborn. I'm not gonna give it off, but oh, it is exciting. Okay, I really love this month. But before we start, I have created a short tutorial for an hour and a half, just $9.99 for each of the 12 signs, whoever is interested in it, to how each of the 12 signs, their first and second marriages, and how their life changes after marriage. For example, Aries and Libra, their financial situation is intimately connected with their partnership. So it really changes for the better or worse, usually for the better. Pisces, for example, they can have property much more easily after they get married. Or do you know that Scorpios are more likely, and Taurus are more likely to have hidden relationships, and we're talking ascendants here mostly, and moon, or to marry foreigners or someone from a different religion. Or Aquarians have a pattern of marrying someone from a different country as well. And I'll explain to you, it's fascinating. You know that the second marriage of some signs is much better, naturally inclination, than the second marriage is much better than the first. For other signs, the first marriage would be better than the second one, just because you're born under a certain ascendant. Anyway, thank you so much. Check it out. It's fantastic. It's really enjoyable. It's just $9.99 on the description below. And now let's begin. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, May 2024. Aries, the month starts with a pivotal event, especially for you, because Mars, the star of war, the star of strength and power, will be born in your sign. Actually, Mars was invisible for the last 6-7 months. It disappeared around the end of the summer of 2023. And only now we'll start seeing it in the sky from the beginning of May. And it's being reborn in the sign of Aries, where it's extremely strong, and which gives you a special mission for the next year and a half, whilst Mars will be visible. That will be, here it is, at the very beginning of Aries. Especially early born Aries can feel it very strongly. The March born Aries, or those, the first 10 degrees of Aries with important planets. The birth of Mars is a spectacular event that portends for you that you'll be mobilizing your force. This is a familiar event for you. It's maybe something that you've been waiting for all your life, because Mars gets born in your sign very rarely, maybe once in 30 years. I don't know, I haven't looked back. But this birth indicates that you have to mobilize your forces, and you have some important leadership role for the next year and a half till Mars is visible, or some important task where you have to use willpower, and you have more than usual willpower for the next year and a half, where you can really, Mars is the planet of innovation in ancient astrology, where you can innovate your looks, if it's your ascendant, your physical body, your health, with the Sun and Moon as well. But the Sun and Moon, the Sun, it can be even some kind of powerful new undertakings, new beginnings, because Mars has this energy of birth now. And you being like a leader, you being like a general, maybe with your career, maybe with your goals. The Sun rules your goals, maybe with your, and things are really starting to move. This initiativeness comes to you, this strength and power. If it's the moon that you have in Aries, it can be this innovation that you undertake in your home, in your place of living, with your family, in your personal life and relationships as well. But yeah, you are asked to be a warrior, and you'll be fixing problems very successfully over the next 1 year and a half. The thought that you're going to have problems, of course, it is Mars. There might be some problems more than other times, but you have the warrior mind and the ability to deal with those things very efficiently, which is martial energy. Also, it can make you more like a soldier towards yourself, with some kind of a discipline. Remember, Mars is a soldier, a general. It's discipline. It's in Vedic astrology, it's called Brahmachari. So it's not just the leader, but it's organized, it's logical, it goes and does things done, gets things done. So this is the energy that's coming to you. Of course, there can be more of this inflammable energy in your life. It can even go down to the body, inflammation in the body, or just overheating, or you just being more trigger happy, just exploding more. But because you have this tremendous force of Mars pushing you to initiate new beginnings, you can find yourself more impatient with others starting from May. You can find yourself rushing and pushing forward, because Mars is this energy of the first seeds springing and bursting out through the earth. And even then, it has the sign of Aries when a little, flower or whatever it is comes out. So you need this force, and it can make you a bit restless. It can make you irritable and driven, but you can move mountains with this energy. So this is a very big and important event. So if you want to do some feat of power, where your willpower will be most efficiently mobilized, now will be the time, and you will feel it. All right. And you're gonna win battles. That's another thing that Mars being born in your sign means. But the other events are quite positive. I mean, this can be also very positive. On the 8th of May, we're gonna have a new moon in your second house, which means the sun and the moon join together, mother, father joining to create something new, together with Jupiter is there, Uranus is there. This is conjunct Uranus, this new moon in your second house. Here it is. If that's you, Aries, it's in your second house. There's so much action happening. And this new moon actually activates the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that happened towards the end of April. Many people didn't feel anything or just had some ideas, but for the next 14 years, every time something passes over that degree in your second house where the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction was, it will unfold that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in waves. And the first powerful activation of it happens on the 8th of May. For the next 2 weeks is the new moon energy, which means that what I was talking in the last month videos, in the April ones, go back to it for more details on the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in your second house. But it's like an opening cornucopia of some new source of abundance for you, a new source of financial security for you, new source of eating, new way of eating, new source, new way, renewal of your self-worth, which is the second house. Also is how you value yourself, your valuables as well. And new opportunities are opening there, because this new moon exactly activates the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. It is with them actually. So the first wave of opportunities financially, self-worth-wise, with some new innovations and big changes in the way you eat as well. The second house is the way you eat. The second house is your face. The second house is your attractiveness. The second house is also your tastes in anything, what you consider valuable, beautiful, worthy. So your changes, you can even have a shift in the way you dress, the way you put on makeup, the way you look, some inspiration, some new spur. But usually the most the most known way of the second house interpretation is financial opportunities. And again, it's not just going to be in May. It's unfolding for the next 14 years. And this is the strongest activation for the next 1 year that you're going to have on the second house. So expect big developments there, either with food, either with your taste, either with anything that is the five senses: drawing, painting, smells. I don't know, some of you might have lost their smell during COVID or whatever. It can be a renewal of that smell, or you can start appreciating different colors or different foods, totally changing the way you food, totally. And because your self-worth will change so much, it's being infused with new energy now in this new moon. You can end up even looking differently, appreciating differently, raising your prices or your value, or having some incredible ideas how to become prosperous. And we're talking especially financially, materially, and also some big new developments connected to your family, because second house is one of the houses of family, and they're positive. But also indulge all the five senses. It's for you over in May with this new moon. I just described this conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus, and Venus is close, like cornucopia in some way, like a Roman feast of beautiful colors and smells, aromas, and incredible foods. Maybe you just go somewhere where your senses will be revived to enjoy some incredible food or view with the eyes, with the mouth, with the ears. Maybe you'll come across new music that inspires you. Those five senses, and also embodying your body. The second house is this more material part of you, embodying your body, renewal of your connection with your body areas. So that's the next big thing. And then we're going to have on the 18th, Jupiter conjunct Sun in your second house. Again, renewal for the next 1 year. And on the 23rd, Jupiter conjunct Venus. Some gift can come to you financially, some opportunity, something that you consider very valuable, some incredibly satisfying sensual experience as well. Stay open for this, or some fluke from heavens financially, or idea or something like that. And if you want to go to a good restaurant, do it, when Jupiter is conjunct Venus on the 23rd or around those days. Or if you want to buy something that is valuable and expensive, maybe you want to renew your wardrobe, how you look, or valuables around your home, do it then, or start a course of cooking. Because this Jupiter-Venus conjunction on the 23rd and the Sun-Jupiter conjunction in your second house on the 18th. So this whole week, I would say from the 8th to the end of the month, it's like renewal of all those second house things that can take you on an adventure of the senses, on a more fulfillment and self-worth journey of some sort. Indulgence of the senses as well of any sort, and it's active for a whole year ahead, because the next time Jupiter and Venus meet will be maybe in a year from now. So yeah, take advantage of this powerful activation of your second house in May, because on the 23rd, together with the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in your second house, there will be a full moon in your ninth house. So around the 29th, maybe a few days before, maybe the next 2 weeks, it can be incredible time. This new full moon, it's fulfillment, seeing something, the manifestation of something, and it's a beautiful full moon. It has a very bohemian feeling to it because it's in Sagittarius. It's opposite Jupiter and Venus, very allowing, green light, experience all the joys and pleasures of the world, and it's trine sextile Neptune. So kind of a lot of allowingness, a lot of enjoyments, a bit maybe too much of the good things of life. But it might be great. It activates this full moon in Sagittarius in your ninth house, a possibility to manifest a trip, a possibility to manifest traveling abroad, or some educational opportunity, or to complete and see the results of some educational opportunity, or the peak of some teaching experience, maybe finding a teacher or learning something that opens your mind towards the more positive things in life, because it's this full moon is with Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, and Pluto trine, sextile, and trine from Neptune. So it can be something that happens in your philosophy and worldview that is very expanding around that time, that is very benevolent and lucky. The ninth house is lucky. It brings you out of a smaller perception to a wider perception, and you might see answers to problems, sudden illuminations, and eureka moments when you're solve a problem from a higher state of consciousness. The ninth house is higher state of consciousness, intuitive insights, intuitive psychic premonition. You're on fire with intuition, with aligning to your higher self and what your soul wants. You can feel it very strongly around that full moon. And also opening your eyes to those more Venusian, Neptunian, Jupiterian things in life, which is the ease of life, the joy of life, the beauty and harmony of life, something that can upgrade your belief system and whole vibration overall, because the ninth house is your higher mind and how you perceive reality, to a more benevolent, peaceful energy of some sort. And then last but not least, after that, on the 25th, we're gonna have another huge event happening. This is Jupiter entering your third house, entering Gemini, and it's going to stay there till the end of May 2025 for a whole year. Now that's going to be very auspicious. So it's not going to be just now on the 25th of May that you feel it. No, it's just starting. You have a whole year ahead that is going to unfold the gifts of Jupiter, the great benefic, that expands wherever it goes in your third house. What is it going to expand? What is going to give you an opportunity to grow? On the level, on the more material level, this is your social network. Jupiter will introduce new people in your life. You can meet people like-minded with similar beliefs based on Jupiter, benevolent people, people that like you, people that support you. Third house is associates as well, or maybe you can have a new team over the next 1 year at your work, or you can create a new team of people that are very beneficent, very knowledgeable, full of ideas. Whether it's at your work in a team base, you can organize some project with a team that becomes big. You can also just have more people in your everyday environment and become more social. You can become more networking, connecting with others. And those connections will bring opportunities to you. So it's the time to start building bridges from the end of May onwards. And some of those friendships or connections can last for life or be an opening for you for some bigger opportunity later on. Also, the people that you meet are lucky, good, dharmic people. Or it can be renewal of already existing relationships, especially with brothers, with siblings, with neighbors. You can get better neighbors. You can get along better from neighbors. You can benefit something by doing something with friends or in a small group environment, or maybe you can become more active in your community in some way, organize some project, some big social project with people in your everyday environment, friends or whatever, that you undertake something that will be successful. On another level, the third house is your way of thinking, your internal narrative. And Jupiter there guarantees that it will give you opportunities to raise the vibration of how you talk to you on every way. In everyday basis, your monkey mind, yes, it might be stimulated by Jupiter. Your mind is very active, but it will be focused towards big things. It will be focused towards positive thoughts. So this is very powerful for kind of some manifestation exercises with your thoughts, imagining things, focused thought that imagines the future. Jupiter is a future-oriented planet. Envisioning something bigger and starting to talk to yourself in positive terms. And if someone of you have been predisposed to negative thinking, which lead to depression, patterns of negative self-talk, you have an opportunity over the next 1 year to change that. I already started this process, me being an Aries, with a lot of affirmations, and now instead of just sitting there chopping vegetables, which I do 2-3 hours per day, having to cook all the time, now instead of like having some negative self-talk and just my mind roaming, I'm just affirming stuff, and after 5-6 days of repeating it, it just becomes automatic. And like, I love, appreciate, and forgive myself as I am. You choose your affirmations. Jupiter is manifesting planet in your third house of your mind. It can start expanding your mind, that you see yourself in a different light, that you see the whole environment around you, to be more perceptive of your environment. It can also give you the gift of speaking, finding your voice over the next 1 year. Some very important successful projects with marketing, with media, social media. Maybe if you've never made a blog, maybe vlog, maybe you can record your first video and be successful. I remember when Jupiter transited my third house 14 years ago, I made my first video. I did my first video. So when Jupiter, 12 years ago was not 14, 12 years ago was in my third house. I did my first successful website. And so anything to do with websites, with business, which is third house, can take off. You can have ideas, it can start blowing up, more followers. Third house is again connecting, making those connections. You find your voice. And I was so shy before Jupiter transited my third house 12 years ago. Go back if you can find videos of me 13 years ago or something. And I was, oh my God, I was definitely, I had actually speech impediments. I had social anxiety. Couldn't even go into a store and ask for the price of something because I felt so awkward. And I forced myself, I had the courage, I didn't even have to force it, to go in public and make videos from parks where people would watch me, which was the biggest fear of me before. So Jupiter expands your courage to do something you've been afraid to. And especially when it comes to communication, to business, to expressing yourself, it can open doors for your voice to be heard, for your message to be spread to wider audience. In a group environment, for you to feel heard and to have an impact as well. So all those also very good for trips and traveling over the next, even short distance, but long distance, because Jupiter is opposing your ninth house as well. So any kind of short or long distance trips, Jupiter gives opportunity. You can improve relationships with siblings, or funny enough, when Jupiter was in the third house from my ascendant, I found out I had another sibling older than me that my parents didn't know about. Neither did my dad. And I was so joyful. It was a joyful experience. I'm not saying this will happen to you, but it's something with siblings, with cousins, relatives that can go well in your local community as well. With trips, or maybe getting a new car. Third house is transportations, overcoming fears about travel, and so on. All right, that's it, Aries. I could talk for hours for you, but I hope that's useful for you. And whoever wants to learn from my tutorial, just $9.99. It's an hour and a half about relationships, and especially for Aries. Aries has a predisposition to improve their financial state after marriage, or some big change in their financial state after marriage, or it even has a predisposition to their first marriage and second marriage even to be the same person, or to be, I'm not gonna give it up, but this is some very unique information I give there. So check it out if you're interested.